A pleasure to be here with Ms. Amrita Mukherjee. Ma'am, welcome to the Kolkata Literature Festival. At the outset, let me ask you, your session is very curiously called For the Record. So what exactly are you going to place on the record and what are you anticipating?
Actually, as we were discussing that day, Swati Jagosheni and I, we are all journalists. So, and then we went into writing books. For the record is like, writing about events, writing about real people, more about non-fiction. So, what the thing is that we have an experience. About writing about people from our journalism days, but how it is very different when we are writing that in a book. The kind of research that goes into it, and when we started writing non-fiction, we never realized that it's going to be so hard, because we've all I have written fiction before, Swati's written fiction. It's In case of a fiction, you let your imagination fly, but when you are writing about an event, or you have to be factually correct, you have to think about people's sentiments, sensibilities, and do your proper research. So in that case, it's more difficult.
What do you see as the transferable skills from journalism to fiction writing or even non-fiction writing? That transition from being a journalist to an author, how do you think it helps to have that experience in journalism beforehand?
Journalism helps you big time, because we learn to write within a very short span of time, factually correct copies, in an environment which can look like a newsroom, can look like a fish market actually. So you have to learn to focus and write maybe 500,000 word copy within half an hour. So this thing really helps you hone your skills at writing, which anybody else who starts as a writer will not have. So we are backed by this immense skill. And when we start writing, I think as journalists, we know how to hook the reader, because that is what we are taught to do when on the job from the first day, that from the first line you have to have the reader's attention. So that helps us immensely, because when we write the book from first to last page, at least I'm very lucky that my readers keep saying that my books are unput downable.
Let's talk about your latest book, The Secret Diaries of a Criminal Lawyer. Is this based on true accounts, and what has the experience been like?
It's actually from the secret diary of a criminal lawyer in Kolkata, who has been awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Bar Association. He's a phenomenon in the circuit in the legal circuit here. But also, it's my privilege that he's my uncle. So I have been wanting to write this book for a long time, but he was extremely busy. I was extremely busy. It never happened. But when it finally happened, he was bedridden with cancer. So the writing process, he literally dictated the book to me when he just couldn't get out of bed, from his diary, the facts, the events and everything. So that process was, I would say, it was a very emotional process for me, because and yesterday I was at the Alipur court, and I realized that Mr. Ashok Mukherjee, on whom the book is based, he was not only a phenomenal lawyer, he was a phenomenal human being also. Because when it comes to lawyers, we have this image, maybe a little bit of ruthlessness, a little bit of cutthroat, things like that. But he was a kind of person whom everyone loved. And that emotional perspective, apart from the legal cases, apart from what he fought and how he changed lives, that emotional perspective has come out in the book, and that's what I think I wanted from day one. So when readers are going through it, it's not about law and court cross questioning and all that. It's more about human beings and emotion of the person Ashok Mukherjee and the people he dealt with.
Wonderful. My final question, I'd like to bring you back to journalism. And given that the industry has evolved a fair bit since COVID, for budding journalists who are entering the profession, What would your advice be? What would your suggestions be?
Journalism has changed big time, I would say, and because of the pandemic, because of online exposure, it has changed a lot. But there is no alternative to hard work. There cannot be, you cannot sit in your office and get facts from here and there and write. You have to do the legwork, you have to go to places, and you have to really work hard if you want to be known as a journalist who is honest and who is heard. Because there's this tendency to, oh, what he's written or what she's written is like not up to the mark. But if you have to be taken seriously, you have to really work hard. That's my advice.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a great time at KLF.
Thank you so much. Thank you.